how to make it a little bit quicker on the load. So, all right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Excessive BS Local and Loud. I'm here tonight with Raymond Saylor, and our guest is Tegan Ritchie. Tegan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about y'all?
I'm doing well.
Great.
Yeah, I'm doing good over here. Like I said, we appreciate you jumping on. This means the world to us. We love interacting with different sports, and it's really fun. We've had some really good feedback with the softball interviews that we've done recently, and so we just appreciate adding to that list of candidates, and look forward to talking to you and getting to know a little bit more about you.
Oh yeah, of course. Thank you guys for reaching out to me. That's awesome.
So let's start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what led you to Charlotte.
So my story is a little bit different. I'm from North Carolina, born and raised. And I always told my parents I wanted to go 8+ hours away from home. I didn't want to stay in North Carolina. Charlotte was like never on my list because it's only 45 minutes from me. And then at the time, the coaches that are here now are not the coaches that were there my freshman year. So one specific coach who now coaches at Duke, Taylor White, was actually the main person that recruited me. I went to a college camp like a few months before September 1st of my junior year. And then after that, I fell in love. She was the first person to call me on September 1. And I just knew then and there that I could be someone that makes an impact at the school. So that's what really drew me in.
Yeah. So what part of North Carolina are you originally from, like your hometown?
So I'm from Albemarle. It's in Stanley County. It's in the country. We got cows everywhere. There's cows right on the street. I got pigs that live next to me. So very much in the country, not the city. So Charlotte is definitely a culture shift for me.
Is that fairly close to Charlotte?
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes away.
Okay. We're roughly about 3 hours, so we're not too far. We're just on the eastern side over here of the Appies. So I love Charlotte. So great city.
So throughout high school, what was some of your honors? What was your playing? What was your awards and stuff like that?
So COVID was my freshman year of high school. So I didn't play my freshman or sophomore year. I only played high school ball my junior and senior year. I started shortstop both years. My junior year, I believe I had 18 home runs. I have the school record at West Stanley High School. I was player of the year both years for my high school. I'm in our region. I was all conference, all district, all state. My school in particular, we're 2A, but we won state championship 4 years in a row. I have 2 rings from my junior and senior year for winning states. There were a bunch of girls on my team who also went to different colleges. There's a girl that goes to Wingate. One goes to Catawba. We got Belmont Abbey. A few others kind of scattered out, but there's about 6 or 7 of us that went to college that started on my high school team. So we were pretty stacked.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. See, y'all were loaded 100%. But hey, that's always great. And especially to go back-to-back years. We know how hard it is to win. It's something we never even made it to state. So it's a big accomplishment just to make it to state. So to win it back-to-back years is truly impressive. That's truly impressive.
Thank you.
So did you go on the travel ball team, scene, stuff like that? I'm sure most people, softball, baseball, you're playing as much as possible.
Yeah, so I actually played, the main team that I played for in travel ball is called Team North Carolina, or Team NC for short. I played with them pretty much my whole entire life. And then my last year after I committed to Charlotte, I played for Carolina Cardinals. They played more locally. But while I played on Team NC, we traveled all over the country, California, Colorado, Georgia, Florida, pretty much the whole East Coast. I was traveling just about every weekend, practicing 2-3 times a week in Charlotte. But yeah, I stayed busy. It was definitely, you're busy. There's no downtime.
How was, I guess, let me ask this. We've talked and we know a little bit about how the recruiting process goes, but how difficult, how much more difficult, or how much more of a the change there was the whole scenery, like trying to get recruited? Because I know AAU has a lot to do with your recruits, and that's where you get a lot of your names out and get recognition from. So how does COVID play a factor there, that a barrier you had to overcome?
Oh yeah, for sure. So COVID, again, like I said, it was my freshman year, but I'm still sending emails to college coaches, going to camps, like doing whatever I can. So I would actually have to like record myself on my phone. Like I had a tripod that I would set up, and I would like post videos on Twitter. I would send specific colleges that I was interested in. I would send them like videos and like videos from me playing in high school and travel ball games. And most of the time during COVID, we were still traveling to play softball, but not when it was fresh, but kind of like the year after that when everything opened back up. Colleges still couldn't come because of quarantine issues, so they would have to watch through video cameras and watch on like Game Changer and just other kind of streaming services that our teams had. So it was definitely more virtual for me coming into it, and then it kind of opened up my junior and senior year because then it was like they can come to all of our stuff now. So that was cool.
Yeah.
So you do not have to answer this question, but because you are at Charlotte, what was your dream school before picking Charlotte? Like as a kid. There we go, as a kid.
I mean, as a kid, I would definitely say my dream school was, I don't want to say it just because I am at Charlotte, but my dream school as a kid was 8+ hours away. So if that gives you anything, south.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So with being at Charlotte,
yeah.
you know, we're local to Tennessee, ETSU, Tusculum, things like that. What is the campus life like at Charlotte?
So like I said before, it's very much city. Like it's city, but at the same time, it feels kind of small. Like it's a big campus, but when you're in it, especially as like an athlete or a softball player specifically, everything's kind of like all bunched together. Like all the classes that I take are all near each other. Our weight room, the softball field, baseball field, they're all like connected. We all use the same things. And really those are the main places I'm at 24/7. So sometimes there's parts of campus I don't even touch because I don't even have to go that far. So it's super nice. There's a lot of great food options on campus. We have like Chick-fil-A, Panda Express, Subway. Like we have so many food options, and like even just outside of campus, like it's super nice. And the greenery around school, like the trees, they change colors in the fall and the spring. Like it's really, really pretty.
So with that, talking about campus and everything, intertwining it there, one thing that we usually ask is like, can you give us a detail of your day? Like, what does your day look like, day in, day out, maybe on and off season? Give us that comparison when you're all out of the season as well.
Okay. So right now, my days are honestly not that hectic. I'm a junior at Charlotte, so all my classes are online. So I don't have to go to school for any, like go on campus for any classes. We have lift during the spring. We have lift at 10. And then we have practice either 1:30 or 2:30, just kind of depends on the day. And it usually ends around 4:30 or 5:30. And then we just got a new facility that's super, super nice. If you haven't seen it, go to our softball Instagram, check it out. Like it's brand new. We just got it this year. We have our own like athletic training facility in there. So like we have cold tubs. We can get all of our treatment. So it's super nice after practice. We can just pop over there and get any kind of treatment we need. I live in an apartment with 4 other girls on the team. So, and everybody in our apartment complex, like it's mainly softball girls that all live in the same complex. So like we're always hanging out at each other's houses all the time, super close. But yeah, that's pretty much my routine as of now. Now in the fall, it's a little bit more hectic. We, this past fall, we did something new called Championship Fridays, and we would have to either meet in the basketball court or the football field at 6 a.m. every Friday. And we'd have to do conditioning. So we're up at the butt crack of dawn doing conditioning. It was fun. It doesn't sound too fun, but it actually was fun. We were challenged. But we still had lift in the mornings at 10. And then we have things called individuals. So it's not like normal practice time because you have different hours in the fall versus the spring. You have like 8-hour weeks versus 20-hour weeks. So when we first started in the fall, it was 8-hour weeks. So we'd have individuals. So you'd probably hit with 5 girls max at a time for like an hour, or do fielding depending on what the coaches want that day. And then as 20 hours go, we start to have team practices, and we'll have inter squads and scrimmage each other and stuff like that. But the spring, when we're not playing, we practice. Like we have Mondays off, so I'm actually off today. But tomorrow we play Western Carolina at home. And then this weekend we have a conference series against ECU. So pretty big conference series coming up.
So with your transitioning, you played 2 years competitive for high school, and then now you're a junior at Charlotte. What was your biggest transition? What was your biggest hurdle from high school to college? And being a junior, how do you try to help your younger underclassmen try to understand something that you might not have gotten in your freshman and sophomore year?
I think one of the big things that was like a culture shock to me was how much people scout other players in college. Because in high school ball, you just show up and play. Like there's no really scouting pictures. Like you just show up and play ball. And I think the transition from high school to college is a very mental thing. And if you can't get your mental, like your mindset in check going into that, you can kind of fall under and kind of fall behind a little bit. So I'll definitely say some advice for any incoming freshmen is just to be like, stay strong, like keep working hard. Just because it's not like you might not be in that role that you want your freshman year doesn't mean that you can't earn it. But that would be like the transition piece that I would say is definitely a mindset change, because coming in, you think you're all big and bad, but you're on a team full of All-Americans, full of state championship winners. Like you're all the kind of equal playing field. So.
Yeah, you always, yeah, absolutely. I understand 100% of that. Yeah, like Michael said, what being an upperclassman now, or sort of to piggyback off what he was talking about, but being an upperclassman now, how do you try to set that leadership role with the younger class that maybe you lacked when you were younger, or an underclassman, that you would give for like motivation and guidance? That's the word I'm looking for, guidance going forward.
Yeah. That's a good question. I think for me as an upperclassman, I just try to let the freshmen know that like I'm literally there for anything. Like I've gone through exactly what you're going through. So like I'm just kind of like that person they can come talk to. I've probably dealt and had the same feelings that they're having. And just like I said, like I like to work hard. I like to go get extra reps in. So I'm always inviting some of the freshmen to come with me. I'll go pick them up if they're on campus. Since I'm off campus, I'll just go drive and pick them up. So I'm just kind of always offering that, like taking them under my wing kind of mentality, and just saying like, come with me. Like I'm going to work hard. I'm going to show you that even though I'm an upperclassman, like you still have to put in the work. You still have to earn your spot. It's no different, no matter if you're a freshman or a senior. So I just like
Absolutely. That's great words of advice. Absolutely, I agree.
Game days. What is your rituals or superstitions? Like,
Yeah.
We've been athletes. We know that there's some things out there.
Oh yeah. So normally, I know you guys follow me on TikTok, but I like to make TikToks before game days specifically. Just depends on if I have time, but that's like kind of worked into a superstition of mine. I also do glitter eye black before every game. I have to have glitter eye black. You won't catch me in a game without eye black on. I change my hair every single game. You won't see my hair the same 2 games in a row. Whether it's braids or if I put bubbles in or a braid in my hair, like it's going to be different. So that's definitely my superstition. And I do. I mean, we're all college athletes, so like we like energy drinks. So I always like to have an energy drink too before the game.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, I got a 2-parter here for you real quick while I'm thinking about it. So Michael was talking earlier about your accolades there in high school. What is your proudest moment, single or team wise, so far in college?
So I'll start with team. My freshman year, again, very first year in college, nervous, all that. I played shortstop. We won the conference. Very first time in the American Conference, we won the conference. We won the conference tournament. We actually made it to a regional in Georgia. So me, a baby freshman, playing shortstop in Georgia for our first regional is pretty awesome. First year in college. We got rings from that, so that's really, really cool to me. So I think that would be like the first team thing that I would say in college so far. And also too, like this year we're 3-0 against ACC teams. That's really big. We've played Clemson, Virginia Tech, one other one. I can't think of it. Oh, NC State. That was our third one. We've beaten all 3 of them so far. So I'd like to keep that train rolling against ACC teams.
Easy. Hold on now. We got to pulse the brakes a little bit. We got to pulse the brakes a little bit here. ACC is my domain now. I'm a huge Florida State fan. I have been a Florida State fan ever since that's hence my background.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I will say good luck against them if you ever see them. So I will be pulling for Charlotte, but deep down it'll still be my nose, I guess. I don't know. That'll be a tough one for me. I'll definitely I'll have your back on it though. That's opening. But no, they were 3 big wins. Those are humongous wins, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank
Didn't
you.
mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was going to say, too, I might kind of burst your bubble, but we did beat Florida State, their opening game my freshman year. So
hey, congrats. Congrats, because they are a really good softball program. So that is a big congratulations, and hats off. That's awesome. So
thanks. I'm trying to think of the other question.
Singly, like what's been your biggest or your proudest accolade so far?
I would definitely say last year I had a year at the plate. I had 17 home runs on the year. Almost close to my high school numbers. I was like 1 or 2 off. So I think that's still pretty huge to have that accomplishment in college. Especially coming from my freshman year where I didn't do so hot at the plate, and then bouncing back my sophomore year under new coaching staff. Like all of that was super big to me. So I'd definitely say that would be my single accomplishment that I like.
Absolutely. Anytime you can come out of a slump, especially in the world of baseball, softball, that's always a great thing. And on this 2-part of the, I guess it's 3rd part. But what is your what is your goal that you want to accomplish so far that you haven't?
I want to make it to a super regional.
Yeah.
I want to get past that regional threshold and get to the supers. And I think that we have the team to do it. I think if we play like how we've been playing lately, and we hit the ball and we play solid defense, like I think put us up against anybody and we have a chance. I think our team has a lot of grit and fight, and like we always like to joke, like don't let the Niners get hot, but that's a real thing that we kind of stand by, because once we get hot, like there's no telling what we'll do.
Roll with it. I love it.
So I'm going to pull one in from the chat real quick. We got Tracy Brooks. She asked, do you all do any prospect camps?
Yes, we do. So I actually worked like all the camps this past summer. Me and some of my other teammates. We'll also do prospect camps this coming up summer. I'm sure they'll post closer to like when season's over. But yeah, it's usually 8th through 12th grade. We do prospect camps. They're usually just one day on the weekends, and then in the fall they'll have some prospect camps too.
Okay. There you go, Tracy.
We could stay in touch maybe, or link up there with Tracy. Her daughter, just a little background, her daughter is she puts in the work and is a great softball player. So she's very interested. So we'll get that link up, try to. So appreciate you tuning in there, Tracy.
So next, what is the NIL experience like? You kind of was in on the groundbreaking startup of the NIL era.
Yeah. So me personally, I don't have any NIL. I would like to, but currently I don't. It definitely is crazy just kind of being on the end in college and kind of knowing some of the insider information on NIL. Obviously you have certain schools that have more money for NIL than others. But like it's insane. Like I think it's awesome just because it gives, especially female athletes too, like being in softball, like baseball usually gets all the credibility, but this NIL, like you have people like Nigel Kennedy who is making a crazy amount of money, and like that's awesome. It gives recognition to female athletes and kind of showing that like we're up there with like the big guys, like we're just as good and people like to watch softball. So I think it's awesome. I think that like as long as you keep funding it, like we're gonna grow, the sport's gonna grow. So
when it is on especially during the tournaments, I mean, it's hard to catch, baseball or softball for collegiate athletes. And I wish that it was more televised on more of your ESPNs and stuff. But it is absolutely, I love watching softball. It's such a faster pace than baseball when it comes to everything. And during tournaments, it's fun because you can catch them on ESPN for sure then. So I agree.
All right. So what are you pursuing in college?
So my major is currently health systems management with a minor in communications, but I want to be a collegiate softball coach when I'm done. So we don't have sports management at Charlotte, unfortunately. I think they're in the works of having some kind of major like that in the future, but I ultimately want to be in the coaching field. I want to give back to the sport. I give lessons currently, like in the summer for work. I love working with the younger generations of softball players, and I kind of want to be that person once I graduate to be at that collegiate level and continue. I love it. I love the game. That's like all I know. I've been playing since I was 4, so I don't think I'll be able to say goodbye once I graduate. Maybe I'll go pro, maybe not. I don't know. But if I don't, then the college coaching route's definitely the route I want to take.
And you said you wanted to stay on the college level, no high school, no lower, since you like helping the kids?
I would like college, but if the opportunity didn't present itself right away, I'd definitely consider coaching high school until I can kind of work my way up. But collegiately is definitely, I love the competitiveness. I love the like school spirit of like fans and everything. Like it's just a different level.
Oh yeah, the competitiveness. I mean, it's on a different level, I think, in college.
Yeah, 100%.
So have you seen any changes with the professional softball leagues that's out there more now? And it's not for us as spectators, just the Olympics and things like that. Do you feel like how's that changed the sport around you? I guess I could say it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I think just going off like the Olympics, like I know it's been a few years, but like it just got reintroduced to the Olympics, like softball. And I think that's crazy because like a team sport like that, usually think of the Olympics and it's more like individual based stats, but having like a team sport like that in the Olympics is crazy. I think that recognition again for female sports, I keep harping on it, but like I said, like everybody loves watching female sports and especially softball. I'm kind of biased, obviously, but even leagues like the Athletes Unlimited League, the MLB just put a whole bunch of money into that, and I think that that's honestly going to turn into some kind of like MLB like feeder program. I think that the more teams that get brought in for the AUSL league, the better. And it's just another outlet for softball players in college to continue playing after their college career is over.
Yeah, we got something that's sort of new and it's more leaning towards baseball, but we got what we call an Appalachian League. And during the summer, it's like a 2.5 month program. And there's like 6 local teams, I think, within this little division here. And it allows a lot of college athletes from UT and several other surroundings to come up and play in these leagues. And it's wooden bat, so it is more of like on a major league scale. So we're starting to see that pop up everywhere, and that's awesome. I think that's great, and love the outlets. Like you said, it's just more opportunity for people to continue because I mean, with the right training, you don't know how far somebody is willing to take it.
Yeah, 100%.
So how much I've got your stats pulled up here. How was it walking in almost day one starter in college? Like that would be nerve-wracking to me.
It was nerve-wracking, I won't lie to you, but at the same time, I know that's like the role that I wanted, and I wasn't afraid of it, and I was willing to do whatever it took to get to that role. I'm a very competitive person. I don't like getting beat many times unless I'm like, if I get beat, it's just because they're way better than me, and hats off to you. But I'm a very competitive person. So going into college, I was like, I'm just going to take what I want. And I feel like me having that mentality kind of rubbed off on others, and you can see that and lead by example. So I think it didn't only benefit myself, but I feel like it benefited other teammates as well to push them harder too.
Yeah, I like that motivation and that confidence. Like you said, coming from the top, you're always at that confidence, but when you go to that bottom, you sort of get knocked back down to reality. And describe that competitiveness level from high school to college there, and competing for that starting spot. Like, because I know when I went up, I've been to several different couple back in the day, forever ago. There was times in the game so much faster. So explain that, like the fastness and just the difference in that step.
Yeah. I would just say that like the biggest thing that helped me was just trusting that I've played the game forever. The game doesn't change. Like you might go up a level, but the game's still softball, still the same game. Bases are still the same width apart. You still gotta. I played shortstop, so that doesn't change. I definitely think it's the mindset thing. I think softball is like 95% mental. The other 5% is your physical. So I think as long as you got it right in between the years, like you're already at a head start than most. But I would definitely say that I knew from a start that it was going to be hard to earn a spot and it wasn't going to be given. So I think that was kind of like the mindset shift for me was that, okay, in high school, I'm kind of coasting, I'm doing good, like it's feeling good. But now in college, I actually have to like grind day in and day out because if you slack off even a little bit, somebody who is just as good as you or is waiting for an opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. Any slip up, and I know I've got to ask while we're on that same line, and Michael, I may be jumping questions, but I just wanted to go ahead and ask
Go ahead.
because I feel like there is listeners right now with the young girls right now. So, what words would you give those kids that are wanting to make that next step?
I would just say it's actually kind of funny. I rewatched one of my games from last weekend. I actually had made an error. I know everybody makes errors, but I made an error at shortstop, and it was kind of funny because the commentator said like you have to have the mentality of a goldfish, and that really stuck with me because that's the truth. Like in college, like everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's gonna have a perfect stat line. So just knowing that even college level athletes still make mistakes. Like I said, it's the same game. So the game's softball is a game of failure. So you're gonna fail more times than you succeed. If you bat 300, you're considered elite, and that's getting a hit 3 out of 10 times. So I think just not accepting failure. I would definitely say strive for perfection, but know that it's okay to fail. That would be kind of like my words of encouragement.
So is that something that you do weekly, is go back and watch your games from like the previous weekend or the previous week?
I usually end up rewatching the game that night when I get home. Just
What
Okay.
yeah,
What's your
it's
biggest accomplishment to go back and watch it?
biggest accomplishment.
Like, what are you trying to take out of rewatching your
Oh,
film?
usually I like to look at my swings and kind of dictate, was it pitch selection is why I got myself out, or was I underneath the ball? Was I early? Was my timing off? And just kind of that's kind of how I look at it, just to kind of use that for practice into the week. And then if there's like certain plays where I'm like, oh, should I have dove for that? Should I have not? Like I can kind of rewatch it and see it from a different perspective to kind of see. And I also just like to hear what the commentators say. So I like to go back and listen.
Yeah. I mean, I like that. Going back, watching your swing, all of that stuff. Raymond and I both golf. I had the opportunity to go and play golf in college, decided to stay close to home, but that's something I always done. I would set my phone up, try to record. Raymond mentioned it a minute ago. It's been many, many moons ago, so it was probably a flip phone at that point. But would try to record it and be able to watch my swing, and my dipping, stuff like that. So, yeah, I understand that quite a bit. And all right, I had a random question that popped up a minute ago. We was talking about the professional and all this stuff. Banana ball has become huge. What is your thoughts on a softball version of banana ball? Because I see, like you said, the TikToks, all of this stuff, that is the biggest trend amongst softball players.
That'd be pretty
Banana
cool.
ball, softball.
Oh yeah. I would love for that to happen personally. I would even like see myself wanting to do something like that. It just looks so much fun, and like you're still competitive, but it kind of takes away the stress of having to be perfect every time. Because I've watched some banana ball games. My family actually went to a game when they played here in Charlotte. I unfortunately couldn't go, but my family got to go. And I think it's awesome. I think it's super fun, and I think like the little kids that might not understand the game or kind of want to get into it, I think it's a great way to like keep them invested and know that like the game is fun. And I love how they have the crowd engaged, and the crowd can make outs and all of that. But I think softball is really cool, and it would be crazy because of how fast paced the game is. So seeing some softball athletes try to make those trick plays in that short amount of time would be insane.
It would. It would be definitely some top 10 plays, like number one for several weeks upon years. So, I mean, for sure.
We may have to move the bases back just a little bit for safety, but because reaction time in general's a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried adult league softball and ended up with 2 broken fingers, so I'm not. Yeah. Raymond, you got any more questions tonight?
I appreciate the time. We truly do appreciate everything, and we'll be following the 49ers softball going forward. And best of luck to you guys. We will definitely be cheering for y'all here at Depot Street Sports. And we hope to maybe stay in touch and maybe follow up at the end of the season.
Of course. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So this is Excessive BS, local and loud. Appreciate you for your time. And like Raymond said, would love to have you on later this year. But all right.